Okay, I feel like we're good. This is recording too. Here, I'll check. Okay. I feel like we're all good. And hey, guys, the beauty of editing is you can always edit things out.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna clap so you guys know when to sync clips.
Okay, thank you.
Nervous.
Yes, me too. But shall we go through a rundown of before the day and then also day of?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your take on it?
What's my take on where should we start off with?
I feel like maybe pre-production. How are you feeling during pre-production?
I was excited, but also like really nervous because I knew that we were probably gonna have new people like involved. So I'm always like a little bit nervous about like how it's gonna go and like interacting with new people. But I was like really excited just because like the first shoot went really well. And yeah.
I felt pretty good organizational wise, and I was feeling pretty good, but then I think I was kind of iffy when we were also trying to make confirmations of like who's going to be there cuz it's summertime and people are busy, so I was like, okay, it's not going to be the same amount as last time, but also like still having high hopes and everything. What about like during the shoot, like on the day of from the start, where were you feeling?
The day of, I remember like one of the members, like the cast members, they came like really early. So I was not expecting that. But that was like good, you know, they showed up early. They're excited to like be a part of the shoot and like help out. The day of, I didn't have any space to be nervous, which is good. It left me to be more like excited and looking forward. And I feel like once something starts, I'm like fully present. So I like completely forget that like a couple days ago I was like about to like go crazy, you know? Like I was really nervous.
Cuz you were recovering from like a cold or something, right?
Yeah, I got like sick basically like a week before. But I knew like we still had some time, so I knew I was going to be able to like recover, but I still had like a cough that lasts, but yeah, even while I was sick and just like organizing the shoot, I also had to make sure to like confirm with everyone, even though like some people like this time for the shoot, they were like unsure because it was the summertime, but also people do have their own like personal needs that need to be met, which was like okay. Yeah. But how do you feel?
I was doing pretty well, and then obviously during the shoot, I felt under the weather as a woman, and then I just had to adjust on the spot. And I guess it kind of contributed to like I was excited about the shoot, but I think it's like also when you're feeling under the weather, you're trying so hard to like fight through it and then like show it for yourself, let alone like a project. So I guess like during that time, I felt pretty organized, but I was like, I feel like something still was like, am I missing something? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Like I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, like cast wise in the beginning, I think it was pretty good, and like I think the person that you wanted for the model in the first part, she was just like a mutual of someone else, right? Or you knew her personally.
No, she was like new. I think she was like fully new. I'm not sure if we have any mutuals yet, but no, I like noticed she was just interested in being part of the shoot. So then I just like sent her a DM saying like, "Oh, I noticed like you were interested." And yeah, she like responded and she was really easy to work with and it was like really nice. Yeah.
I know you posted it on your story, and then was it someone else replied, and then it got like sent around, or?
So one of my friends thankfully was really nice and like reposted on their like story, which like helped gain more like people that were like interested. Yeah.
Nice. And this is also someone that we had in our previous shoot too, right? So that's pretty cool that they spread the word. Also, something I realized is that we were planning to have like a collaboration with someone else and their products, but it didn't necessarily follow through. How did conversation go? Because I know they were curious about things that To be honest, I don't know if I had like the clearest answer for.
Yeah, I reached out to like another small business owner and they were like interested, but also they wanted to like know more in depth. And I know like they're like pretty busy with like work. So messaging them or just like speaking with them wasn't as like consistent, and it also came to something that was like last minute, so it wasn't able to like work out. But hopefully like next time they want to like actually like meet up and have a meeting than just like talk about over text, which like makes better sense to like actually meet in person, and like if we're even like compatible to like work and collab, because that's really important.
That's true. Yeah. I was excited, but I also could understand why they were kind of not exactly 100% in terms of just like, I guess also we weren't 100% of how it was going to work either. But yeah, I think that was pretty cool. And then I did the call sheet. I mean, I did it beforehand, like to make it, and then I did it on the day of. And it was like a smaller team, so I think it was pretty straightforward. But I think also at the same time, there was like a bit of miscommunication with the timing and like when things were gonna end. What was like your take on that?
I mean, yeah, people do have like a responsibility to like share when they need to leave. So there were like members that were like responsible and they were able to let us know like right away when they needed to like leave, which helped us with, the motion of the shoot and making sure like, okay, since we know like so and so needs to leave at this time, like, okay, we're gonna make sure we get these shots done and these videos done, and they leave. But I know like with one of the members, they had mentioned super last minute, and that made me like uncomfortable because it was like we gave you the space to, share if you need to leave. I mean, everyone was like well aware that they weren't gonna get like paid in like money, like they were gonna be compensated with like food and like free products. And also we had like a call sheet like meeting, so I was a little bit kind of like a little bit sus when like just I was a little bit, I found one of them a little bit suspicious when they brought up like they needed to leave on the spot last minute, because I was like, oh, why did I not hear this before? Like, why was this not brought up earlier? Because obviously like we're really understanding people, also we're not anyone's like boss or managers. We make a space for people to be an adult and make decisions on their own, and if they're not able to do that, well then maybe we're not compatible to work with. When one of the members needed to like leave, um like last minute, it just would have been better if they brought it up like right away. When you brought up like, oh, if you have like your own call time, if you need to leave early, like, yeah, let us know right away.
Yeah, I was also surprised because, especially in this person's case, it was a matter of they had to leave because they had to attend to someone else. So I think it makes it harder when you know they're leaving because someone else is waiting on them, right? Because then you don't want to feel like you're responsible for making that third person wait. So I feel like it was kind of in a rock and a hard place because it was like this sense of I don't want to hold you and like things go wrong with whatever you have to do externally, but at the same time like they were more than willing to continue. So I was like, do I take your word or do I try to like be respectful of what you brought up to me? So yeah, for me on that part, I was just kind of like, okay, they said yes, but then they are still bringing up the fact that they have someone waiting for them. So I was like, I don't know what to do.
It got like a bit passive aggressive at points because they were talking with you most of the time, and I was kind of just observing while I was really focused on like setting up for the next like concept for the shoot. And yeah, it just came off a bit passive aggressive and in a way of like, well, you know yourself and your role better, so you should have a bit of awareness if like of like what decision to make. But how did you feel on the day of the shoot before like arriving?
I felt good. I felt good and not too bad. I had to do a little side quest in the city, but thankfully it wasn't too far from where our shooting location was. Pretty good. I still just have this sense of like, I wish I came in more prepared. Like, I think I did pretty good with the call sheet, but I kind of just wish, I don't know, there's something that I felt like I was missing where I'm like, am I on track? And then I think also with having a shoot where we kind of had people showing up at different times just due to their schedules and things that they need to do. I guess it kind of made me feel like, okay, this person is coming, but also where should my focus be? Should my focus be on like making sure everything's taken care of on the side so that you wouldn't have to be thinking of anything else but taking the photos and being present, or is my focus just like on you, and then when people come in kind of like redirect my attention. But yeah, there's something in me where I'm like, dude, I feel like I don't have everything that I need. But well, did you feel it was like quite prepared or quite taken care of?
I feel like this second shoot, I feel like we got to learn a lot more than the first shoot. Like the first shoot went really well, which I'm really grateful for. I'm so grateful for all the girls that like came together and helped support this like business in the first shoot because it went really smoothly. Like we had enough people to basically do like a bit of everything, like for like the set deck, and then we had like a stylist, and then we had like a behind the scenes photographer and videographer who did like a wonderful job, and then like the models. And but with this shoot, I felt like we got to learn a lot more about, okay, we need to be a little bit more prepared in specific areas, because I will take accountability of like, okay, we did forget to like mention like like compensation on the call sheet, because I know one of like the bigger problems was like compensation with like one of our members. With this shoot, I felt like what needed to be prepared was like next time to also have like multiple copies of the call sheet to like give out. We also missed to mention like compensation on the call sheets when we're sending them out. And I feel like next time for me, I need to give people a clearer heads up and letting them know that this is a startup business and this is what the budget looks like, but the budget is only enough for like me to get like the products, the ingredients, and the set deck. And then also I would rather want to make sure everyone is fed and they get products that they get to try and let me know how they feel about it. Yeah, I feel like with this shoot, I got to learn how to be more prepared for like the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think at the same time with the last shoot, it was really a community sense of it was either friends or people that they have something that they're working on the side. For example, we had a hairstylist, and I know this hairstylist because she's like a really good friend of mine, but also at the same time, in conversations that we've had, she does work in her salon full time. So that's why I thought, oh, this would be a great opportunity for her to be outside of her salon and branch out her skill set. And for her, like that's what excited her. Even when I was telling her about this coming shoot, like I could tell in texting, she was like trying to figure out like I can maybe come for this, I can maybe try to do this, but it was kind of clashing with her schedule. So yeah, I feel like last time was more of a vibe of everyone's either excited to like practice their craft or practice their skill, or they genuinely just wanted to like collaborate. And I know that we're not thinking, oh, it's gonna be like free work for life, you know, because obviously it's like you're still even just making the money in the oil business yourself. So I'm not shocked because I know this isn't gonna be free work forever, but at the same time I was like, oh, this was the vibe last time. Like I thought that was gonna be the same.
Yeah, like the same outcome.
Yeah.
Cause this business, like it's just starting up, and it's just the beginning, and I can't just like have my mind on like money all the time and like that I have to pay, which is why I wanted to create a space where like it's like not only you get to experience like this photo shoot, but you get to like do a bit of networking, you get to meet like new friends, new opportunities, but also if there's like a portfolio you're trying to build, like it's good for everyone's like portfolios on their own. If you're like doing photography or like modeling, or with your friend who does like hairstyling, now she has something to add into her portfolio, and I can offer that to people and provide that space. And I really enjoy just like bringing the community together and like having people collab and start from a place out of like love and passion, because it is a passion project, like just starting off. If I base this project out of like money, it would just mean like nothing. It would be like worthless at that point if it was just about money. So I wanted this business to be around like, you know, love, community, collaborating. Like when the shoot happened itself, it was good, but what like resulted after, like that was like
Chaos.
it was a learning experience. It was good. I was so much more clear in the first shoot with everyone, and it was so easy to be clear with everyone because everyone was just passionate about the idea and just like helping out and being a part of. But with this shoot, we were met with a member who was a little different and who comes from a place of like, well, I do expect money. And it's just like, okay, well, I wish I knew that a little prior, because I wasn't like specified in some way. I'm aware that like you were interested in knowing like the budget, but I'm not sure how much of the budget like this person would want. So that was a bit like a rock, like a wall that I was like slammed into. I was like, okay, yeah, I totally acknowledge like I'm so sorry, like I wasn't clear. But also, as someone who's an independent artist hopping onto this project, respectfully, it is your role and your position to state your flat rate and how much like you would like to be paid if that's what you expect. Because this isn't like a paid project. Like it's out of love, out of passion, and also it's a startup business. So obviously the business doesn't have a ginormous like in revenue just yet. And I feel like most of the people like I've met and worked with have been able to be interested just out of the idea, but also just hop on for the experience. But now for the first time I met someone that's like, no, like I want money, like I want to be paid. And I'm like, damn, you're gonna tell me this like after? Like that's a bit of it's kind of like a scam, you know? Like someone offers you something and they don't mention like you're gonna have to pay, or they give you some sort of service, but they don't, and then they hit you with the total after. It's like, whoa, where was this coming from, you know?
And we both tried our best to just reach out to the person and really come in with an open mind, seeing, okay, how did they see things, or what was their way of going about things? Because again, in no way was I like, what do you mean, like, people pay you for work? You know, like, I would understand why. I think in our case, it was like, well, you know, this is mentioned that it's not. So then we were just trying to really come down to what the root cause was of like maybe where he got the idea, or like how he initially thought the project was going to go. And I know that when we both try to have a conversation with him, it was like going somewhere, and then sometimes it wasn't, and it was going somewhere, sometimes it wasn't. And I know at one point this person mentioned they just rather speak to you at that point, and I totally respected that and like discarded myself from the conversation. I think also we weren't sure, like I was really focused on trying to figure out where the line of miscommunication happened, because again, like you said, like you're willing to take accountability and you understand that maybe things weren't said to its greatest capacity or in the greatest of understanding, because I was willing to be like, okay, maybe I'm at fault, or maybe you're at fault, or maybe like, you know, just trying to figure out, because I didn't want to come in being like, well, we're right, like you're tripping or whatever. It would have been helpful to have like a cool like conversation and chill, I guess this person just sees it a different way, and that's okay. That's something that, again, I guess it works both on our end. Like, okay, we would hope next time if people operate like that, we would know ahead of time, or even, us, again, being more clear. What was your feeling after all those conversations? I know we're talking about it now, but I guess if you could take it back to, I guess, after the conversation we had with them, where your head was at.
I like practice a lot of like acceptance.
Yeah.
So I learned to accept things pretty quick. So right when like he said like, oh, or when they said like, oh, I should deserve some sort of deposit because of the level of professionalism I perform without even asking for a deposit, was like, I'm gonna be real, like that's scamming mentality. Like what do you mean? So I just accepted. I was like, okay, so I need to redo one of the concepts for the shoot again, and that'll be fine because that just means I get to spend time with my amazing friends and I get to hang out with them, and then we get to do a photo shoot, and that'll be that. For me, I felt sad because I was disappointed that I was met with someone who wasn't doing it out of love and out of passion. Because I know for a fact there are very wonderful, loving, passionate, understanding people, and I wasn't met with that, and that's fine because I'm like, okay, I've met someone who I'm not compatible with working with, and that's great because now I know what that looks like, and now I'm aware of like of who I'm compatible with working with and those like traits and such. But I quickly like accepted it because once like, they share like their thoughts and the messages, and I could just read and feel what they were saying. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to do another shoot, and that's okay because it's gonna be like, a fun day with friends, anyways.
It's interesting that I learned about myself from this person at the same time. And something that I was learning was also still just being confident in being the creative director. Because they asked me, like, oh, what my role is once. And then they were like, okay. And then I started kind of explaining to them where my vision is going with being a creative director, and, like just things I'm venturing out, how I got there, all this stuff. And then the reaction was kind of like praising me. And then when we had like our conversations after the shoot, it was kind of again like asking me like, well, what's your role in this? And then at the same time like praising me. So it was like a lot of back and forth. But also it taught me to still just like stand like really 10 toes in like what I am and what I'm still becoming. And again, like you said, just realizing sometimes you're not compatible with certain people when you work, because that is something that I'm going to have to face in like the industry as well. So I feel kind of grateful that I got that experience, which is really interesting to say and a little backwards, but just very much so like, okay, I like tried. And also, again, I think we're both at the mindset of, well, we saw what happens. We got the what ifs, really. I feel like this shoot, oddly to say, but like we needed the what ifs to happen. Because I think the first shoot, it was like, okay, well, what if this? But what if this? But what if this? And then like it didn't happen. So I guess we were more anticipating, okay, it's going to go like the last shoot. Like everything's going to be smooth sailing. And I think this time it was like, okay, I think we needed this.
Because we also had like a few changes, especially with the second concept, because everything with the first concept went really well and was completed. And then it was just like the second one where we had to make a few last minute changes. But I think what makes us like really good at what we do is that we always just find the positives. And also the word of the day was perseverance. Like we just kept on persevering and like pushing through and just like trying to be positive. And I'm also really grateful that we got to experience like all those what ifs, even though as me, I'm an anxious girly, you know? I struggle with like anxiety here and there. And like, yeah, I had a really like large pit in my stomach and I was really anxious. But then I knew I was like, oh, this is my time to be that slay queen girl boss, you know? Like, Miss like future CEO. So I knew I needed to put on my big girl hat on and like stand on business. I guess stand on business. And like, be the bigger person and find a appropriate way of like navigating those like uncomfortable conversations that need to be dealt with.
Yeah, I think also it's enriched our communication styles, you know, because sometimes you got to sound very like corporate email person, but at the same time, I think wording is everything. Like even when we were messaging people and like things didn't fall through, not to make it sound like we're trying to attack the person. Because I know we had a model that was scheduled for one part of the shoot, and I'm not sure if they knew of this obligation they had beforehand or on the day of, but it just resulted in them not being able to show up. I know you were in communication with them. Like, how did that go?
Prior before the shoot, the conversation did go really well and like the model was very like interested and they kept on confirming that like yes, I want to be a part of the shoot. I want to help. And then once the day had came, they had already had like a personal appointment that they needed to attend, and if they like canceled it, there's like a cancel deposit, which what ended up happening. And it was kind of like unfortunate because this model had like wasn't prepared for how like professional it was, which was like yeah, it's for a small business that's starting up. So yeah, we are trying to like take it professionally and make sure like we have a day to confirm all the cast members, and then we send out a call sheet, and we're going to have a call sheet with everything like everyone in the cast needs to know and what time. And they weren't fully aware of that, and yeah, they weren't able to like show up, which again, like I quickly accepted and was like, okay, I guess I'll just model. Even though I've recently been wanting to be more behind the camera, so I have more, you know, time and space to like see what's going on and see if it's like matching the vision. Which is why I want to like spend more time behind the camera. Um, yeah, but I want to try and asking you more questions because I'm like you've been asking me questions.
Yeah,
I'm like,
go
let
for
me
it.
see. Um, how did you feel when like I mentioned like one of the members like their compensation wasn't met?
I was at home when you called me and I answered it, and then you kind of gave me a rundown of what was going on. Immediately, my first thought was, okay, let me try to get the full picture of everything. Like, let me try to understand what's going on in your head. Let me try to understand what's going on, like, in that person's head as well. Because the main thing that I know is that the person found out about this project through, like, I guess, like, through people, right? So, from my understanding, someone saw your story that you posted and then posted it in a group chat that that person was included, and I kind of just wanted to know, okay, like maybe what's the vibe of the group chat, what did this person say? Because if this group chat is like a photographer's group chat, just for instance, right, and they're very keen on sending the group chat, hey, there's this job, if anyone wants to chime in, there's this happening. So I wanted to get a better idea because I would much rather try to clear that up first before putting us in a position to be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, like here, you know, because like we mentioned, we want to be fair. Like we don't want to just be like, oh, we're paying this person only, and then everyone else was like just getting compensation. So yeah, I was not expecting it, but I just knew again I had to just go in it and try to communicate to the best of my ability. I'm still learning how to communicate within this role, and I don't think they're in the wrong for being used to paid work that they've had previously and coming in with the mindset of like, okay, this is just another one of my gigs, you know? Like, I don't think they're in the wrong for that. So I just really wanted to focus on, okay, I want to make sure you understand how this is working, how this project was. Did the person who sent it to you say something, didn't say something? Maybe the person who sent it to you in the group chat you're in, it's very big on, oh yeah, we always like help each other out, get paid gigs and whatever. So yeah, it was just a lot of like, I just want to know where, because I also wanted to learn on my end. I wanted to learn like, maybe I could have said something different. Maybe I, again, with the call sheet, could have added something extra. So yeah, I was kind of just in a place of, how do I do better, but also navigate things and kind of be in the middle, you know? Because if I do have to be in a position where I can be like, okay, no, Aloe, I think like actually we've like messed up on this part, or like, oh, I think maybe you could have done this, you know? And being in the middle and not trying to pick like favorites. But at the end of the day, I'm obviously going to defend you for sure and like have your back. So yeah, it was like a new experience, like really eye-opening experience.
Yeah. And do you have any intentions with Evolve and like being the creative director with Evolve?
I would love to, like every shoot, it's always going a step further from the previous one and being quite open. Something that I just thought about was how we ran into a wedding.
Oh my god, yeah, we should like talk about that. That's such a good, yeah.
We ran into a wedding. I mean, you were the one that scouted the location. Do you want to kind of touch on that?
Yeah, so basically, I scouted some of the locations for all the different concepts. And yeah, for one of them, it was at this like ginormous park. And at this park, they have this really nice garden. And yeah, people probably get married there or get wedding photos done. And yeah, when we showed up, there was a whole like wedding going on. And even better, it was a queer wedding. Like, what? And we were actually looking for a queer couple prior to the shoot. And that put us in a whole new situation, but like a good situation, because it was like, I'm learning as someone, again, anxious girly here, I'm learning how to get out of my comfort zone and better my communication skills by like, making conversations and like learning how to like ask and then presenting them with like, I can offer you this and then this is what you can get in return. We like talked to one of like a friend or a family.
Yeah, like the bride, I believe.
Yeah, they like said that they would be down and like interested, but then they told us to talk to like the photographer. So we met up with the photographer because obviously like the garden was like not locked, but there were signs saying like it's reserved.
Yeah.
But we were able to find our way through, not by just freaking like trespassing going in, but we like asked people and got in. And yeah, it made us realize like, if we're gonna do like shoots like this, we're gonna need to have like consent forms.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure like like we are all like protected.
Yeah.
And like we don't want anything like negative to come back at us, because it's like, girl, like we don't want that. Like we ain't got time for that. We got better things to do.
This is not to be like a clickbait or anything. So yeah, I was actually intrigued to learn about the like consent form that the guy mentioned to us for video, because I know I'm used to it for photos, but for videos I was like, okay, yeah, like that makes sense. And it's nice you can have something like on the go, because I like to print things, but I remember this one slightly embarrassing thing that I think when I'm in those moments of, I don't know what you might call it, but just working with what you have, I guess you can say. And then I was like, yeah, let's just go. And like, we can say we're students and stuff because people love helping students, you know? And yes, I did go to school to where I said I went to school. I just don't go there at the moment. I was like, dude, you should ask. But obviously, you were more on like the nervous end. But I was in that moment just pushing you to be like, you can ask. If they say no, they say no. But at least you tried and you asked, right? And after that, you're like, can you film me? I was like, okay, I can. But then also at the same time, I've never really done something where I'm like kind of like what's it called, streamer, where they have that one person that's always filming. So I started filming my hand, but I could see his eyes was like looking at the phone in my hand and then looking at me and then looking at you. And then I was like, dude, this guy thinks we're crazy. And he was like, just a word of advice. Maybe you should do that before you like interact with someone. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
But that was also like another first time. The second shoot was definitely a whole different experience. But we should talk more about the first concept because it did go well and like smoothly. We did like the first concept was wind down. As a creative director, how did you think of like the outcome for that part of the shoot?
I really liked the idea of it, and I think the way it was set up was pretty good. Like, this person was emulating the concept of how with winding down it has to do a lot with night routine. So I feel the lighting, the outfits, kind of just like poses we had, it really gives that feeling of like I'm winding down and doing my night routine. So I think that was pretty good on your part. Like, I feel like it was very, very cozy, and I'm actually really excited to see how you transform the photos and how you put it together and everything. Did you feel pretty content with the reels you got?
Oh yeah. I feel really content. I did go through like all the photos and I did edit them. Now I gotta see how I wanna like post and share and like market. But all the photos and the videos turned out really well. The model did such an amazing job and I'm really grateful that she was interested in being a part of the shoot and was able to be a part and slayed it. Like, girl was like a natural. But also she had like a fun set, you know. It was very chill, it was calm and relaxing. I'm happy that it went smoothly. I'm not a professional photographer, but I do like taking photos for fun, so it was nice to just like learn and gain some experience of like how to take photos with certain angles and with the lighting, and learning how to like balance like the lighting and like contrast with like the warm tones and then a bit of like cool. Yeah, I don't know. The first part was like fun, and we had sushi. It was bomb. Everyone had lunch.
You guys should drink water. You just been yapping.
That's
For
true.
half an hour.
Loop the throat up.
Can you
We can stop recording for
yeah.
a bit. Let's take like a 5-10 minute break. Oh, all right. Let me cook up. So, from this shoot, do you have any takeaways?
I'm happy that I got shown the what ifs because it just makes me more resilient to preparing. I mean, I don't think you're ever going to be fully prepared, but yeah, just like also getting a realistic version of sometimes things don't go right. And sometimes, even if you prepare as much as possible, sometimes things still don't go right. And I'm glad that we had a lot of ways to just pivot. And again, at the end of the day, just try our best. We're not like in this game for 20 years and we know how to speak to people and all this stuff. So I'm happy about that. But I'm also happy that the first concept went really well. Like, it was a smaller team, but it still was possible. What about you?
My takeaways is that I do enjoy like hosting the shoots. Like, it's nice. This one, we I feel like we all kind of we both got to collectively learn, but learn like a lot of good positive stuff out of it. With like making sure we're clear on like communication with like the cast. It is possible to build community and bring community together and being able to like collab, and it is a possible thing to do. And I'm very grateful that I can be one of many products of that, and to hopefully like inspire others that it's like you can really work with what you got if you really put your mind and heart into it, and you can always persevere. Word the day, that was my major takeaway, was perseverance. Like, even like the outcome was like, okay, well, how am I gonna like alchemize and push through? So I feel like that's what I took away, like learning to speak more like clear with like everything, and also learning how to alchemize in times where like the what ifs shows up.
Yeah. It was beautiful, honestly. Like, as much as it was stressful in the moment, like I was always thinking like I'm still grateful for this. Like I'm still grateful that we did what we could, and it's nice that it didn't make us feel, oh man, we can never do this again, or you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, now we just have pivots or the way we're going to go in other ways. What other things are you doing besides evolve
Mm-hmm.
creatively?
Creatively, I am working and growing towards being more consistent on YouTube because I've been enjoying like vlogging and like learning how to edit, and I've been enjoying like editing my videos. I think it's like a really fun process, and I like the feeling of like the flow state I reach once I'm like editing a video. It's nice. Yeah, creatively is right now just growing my YouTube channel, and then also marketing for Evolve, which I'm learning some marketing stuff. But it's also like marketing is pretty creative, You got to think of like how to make things look aesthetically pleasing to the eye with like the like certain fonts and colors you use and like themes that are like shared. I'm also just trying new things like DJing. Like I'm still DJing like for fun and just like learning how to master DJing on my own. Maybe not master, that's too grand. But like I'm just learning how to like DJ and have fun. And those are the only creative stuff going on with me. But how about you?
Just posting on YouTube. I recently just finished up a little concept design for the artist JD Beck and Domi because of their new album Who Asked. So still a lot of designing, and I watch a lot of videos about creative directing and also like what comes with it. And I also feel the same way too, where with marketing, it was a topic that I wasn't interested in because it wasn't explained to me in the language that I can understand. But now, like with being a creative director and seeing like, okay, marketing plays a role in this heavily because you have to think of this. And to me, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds fun. That I'm like, I even forgot that I didn't really have much interest in marketing. I think it was just a matter of like the language it was being presented to me. So yeah, just having a lot of fun with that, experimenting. And yeah, I feel like YouTube's such a freeing platform, honestly. I
I feel like it's the best platform, low key. Yeah. Like, if you want to make some good videos, or if you just want to, like, document, like, if you want to do anything that has to do with videos, like,
and you never
YouTube.
have to be constricted by, oh, you only have like 1 minute of like this video because of other platforms where you can post a video for how long you want, but then you just know, oh my God, they're probably gonna click off in like 3 seconds, seeing that it's like 5 minutes long. So it's nice that YouTube is like really free flowing.
Hmm. It's also a lot better for our attention span
100%.
than doom scrolling.
Do you have any last words?
Any last words? Well, be sure to obviously support my girl, Lady Ayana, on her YouTube and her socials. And also check out Evolve at evolve.aromatherapy. And feel free to check out my channel, Evolve versus the World, on YouTube without an O. But yeah, I'm really grateful for this chat. Thank you for being the amazing creative director, and keeping my nervous system grounded in times of need.
Regulated.
Or regulated, yeah, grounded.
Yes. Thank you for inviting me to be in this position. Like this, like business is really what is making me start up and like understanding that I want to be creative director, like learning, like it's giving me more of a drive to keep learning, keep experimenting. So I thank you for that, for giving me that space to do that. And
I'm glad. Period. All right.
we can cut.
Cut.
Oh yeah, I need to